hate puppies.
Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
We did it.
All right, perfect. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. We're glad to be here. Glad to have you here.
Back to back.
Back to back, yeah.
Running it back.
I thought Josh was going to be here again, and then he...
So close.
So close, so close. Now we got to carry this damn thing.
Now he's in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's how that works. Everyone else last week was like, an hour 15. His
Yeah.
wife was like, an hour 15.
Yeah. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, so we're on the back of a back-to-back.
She seems cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
Good people.
apparently she makes ridiculous cupcakes and cookies.
That's
what we need.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, she's a saint.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
And don't you say nothing about Dorothy Mantooth. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I wouldn't mind going down. We have a bunch of topics on the board that have been running for like weeks.
Long.
Oh, yeah?
Weeks and weeks and weeks that just never get to, which would officially make this entire episode the B-sides.
Okay.
If you say so.
We can knock it off.
I mean, if we want to go down them and see what they got, and see where they net out.
Yeah.
I'm down
What's
to
the first
do it.
one?
Let's see.
I
The new Ford Bronco. Which
I haven't
is
seen much other than a picture, and it looks awesome.
So the picture, though, the only real picture, it's still under a cover.
I've just seen the four-door one, the rendition.
It's a four-door?
So check this out. Here's what we know
So it's
about
not
the
a
new
Bronco.
Here's what we know about the new Ford Bronco. Okay,
First off, they've been talking about it for fucking 15 years.
and I never thought it would
Yeah.
happen. I never thought it would happen.
But this is the year.
Well, 2020, it's going to be an official vehicle, which I
No,
assume
but that's been
means
15 years of that.
that's absolutely right.
I'll believe when I say the bitch cruising down the highway.
I know for a fact that they just had a thing where they brought in like all the top dealerships and they brought in the main sales managers and all that and like their top like 25 sellers in the country.
Nice.
They brought them in and they took all their phones at the door and they revealed the new Ford Bronco.
By the way, I just had a weird experience where it's like 2020. I'm like, that's still 3 years off. Oh, wait.
Next year.
It's not far off at all.
Dude, when I think of if someone's like, "Oh, it's a 2000," I'm like, "Oh, it's new."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh, it's really old."
Yeah.
Really old.
Like that's how I know I'm old because 2000 sounds new.
Yeah.
But so the new Ford Bronco is going to exist for sure. It's going to be built on the new Ford Ranger platform, and it's going to have a two-door version.
Isn't that too small?
That's what I would think.
I think it'd be built off the 150.
If you think about what they're doing, though,
Fucking up.
no, it sounds like they're going right after the Jeep. Like, because they're building it on a shorter wheelbase. They're building it on the Ranger platform. They're going to have a two-door and a four-door. These are the things we know. And Troy,
Top comes off.
top comes off.
That's crucial.
And this is, Troy, you're going to love this. So they released what little bit they've released. One thing that was picked up on is that the actual side mirrors are mounted to
The frame.
the body of the vehicle and not the doors.
Yeah. So
Which
the doors
means
will
one
come
thing.
off.
That's right.
The doors will come
The
off.
doors are coming off
Yeah.
intentionally because that's something Jeep.
It's only
always-
the Jeep.
Yeah, but Jeep's always had trouble with that where you have to get like aftermarket ones
yep.
because it's illegal not to have. But Bronco said no, it's perfectly legal with our vehicle. So Ford is doing it right. So it's going to have a removable hardtop, removable soft top, two-door variant, four-door variant, and doors come off just based on the fact that those windows are placed where they are. So we know who they're going after.
Mirrors.
Yeah, sorry, the mirrors. So they're going squarely after the
That
Wrangler.
is a direct
Yeah.
shot at the Wrangler. It's still
Which, why no one's done that?
because you can't
Exactly.
hang. You cannot hang.
The Bronco can.
No.
People have a thing for those 60s Broncos more so than just about anything out there. It's like the old Toyota Cruisers, like
Land
the
Cruisers,
old,
yeah.
the old ones. People love those.
But you're not going to beat a Wrangler being a Wrangler. Now, I'm not saying you might not have success, but you will not.
You think the Wrangler Mystique is that strong?
It is now. I mean, how long has it been around now?
43.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good, bloodline to come from. I mean,
Certainly is. I mean,
look, I'm all for it because I love all those knockoff wannabe Jeeps. I'm a fan of them, but they're not
well,
Jeeps.
you had a Sidekick, right? At one
Yeah,
time?
I did, yeah.
So, yeah, you love that
Yeah,
shit.
your Forerunner is kind of a
Yeah.
wannabe Jeep, and I like that
That's
too,
it.
but until the doors come off.
Well, they're making it to do
Yeah.
so. So this
That's
is
awesome.
I'm actually, because you guys know I've been looking at the new Jeep Wranglers.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, well, hold on. Let's see what.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, let's see what comes
That's where
out in
they
a year.
might be able to come in. If they can undercut that, because those four-door Jeeps are so
50
overpriced.
grand.
And they can do it because they're the only one in the game, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course.
if they can just come underneath that, I mean, that's got to be a good way to go about it.
Now a new Jeep without any of the options, I think, is around 30 grand. So if they could come in at 25 for a bit, well, there's no way, right? There's no way they come out with a base Bronco at 25.
I don't
Or
know.
do they?
Who buys a brand new stripped down Jeep though?
Only the hardcores who are going to buy it and then
Drop $20K and
do their
aftermarket?
own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of the hardcores that are like, no, I'd do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So they buy the Sport and build it up. But that new Bronco's coming, and I'm cautiously optimistic. But if they fuck it up, like they need to make it boxy. Oh, the other thing they said is it is boxy and it has round headlights, which is a direct
Yeah.
lineage from the '60s Bronco, not the '80s, '70s, '80s, '90s Broncos.
Yeah.
So they're at least going back to the right body style. And your initial reaction was, well, if it has four doors, it's not a Bronco, like the one you would want.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. They got the two-door.
Jeeps are the same way too. Those four-door Jeeps, I just don't think they look as cool.
Yeah, they sell those four-door Jeeps, though.
They're more practical.
They outsell the two-door
Yeah, you can fit twice as many people in it.
by a
It
margin
only makes sense.
beyond 2-to-1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So obviously that's what America wants.
That's what the soccer moms want.
Yeah, that's America.
Yeah.
That's who's buying them.
I know around here you see those four-door Jeeps and they have all the aftermarket stuff on them and they don't have a dent, a scratch,
Yeah.
a fleck of dirt on them. I mean, there's
yeah.
just straight.
Mall crawlers.
Yeah. My buddy calls them Ruba moms instead of Rubicons.
There you go.
Like, I mean, it's just
You can tell everything you need to know about a Jeep by the license plate on the front. If it's bashed up,
yeah,
like curled up, that person goes off-roading.
Yeah.
If that license plate is pristine, because they hang below the bumper the way
Mm-hmm.
Virginia plates are, at least. It's a quick indicator of if this person off-roads or not.
you see them with snorkels. You're like, you're not
Yeah.
fucking taking that thing into the water. You're insane.
Well, what if all the Gatorade and orange slices spill and you got to snorkel out of there,
Juice boxes everywhere.
It was, the humanity. It was
On my way to a
Capri Sun.
soccer match and all hell broke loose.
It was bad, man. I almost took a straw to the eye.
The snorkel though almost makes more sense than, like, there's a few roads near us that get consistently shut down from high water,
Yeah.
and it's more. I mean, you're way more likely to you need that than you are.
But
to
how
drive
high
it.
does the water need to be for you to need a snorkel, honestly?
I've
you've
honestly
gotta,
ruined a Jeep.
It's got to be over your hood.
I was coming through
Yeah, exactly.
I was coming through like not a river crossing, but like a washout, and like the water was running.
Yeah, if you hit them hard and fast, you can throw some water up in there.
I got water in there, stalled it out, and we had to sit there for like 5 hours while that thing just finally dried out, and then I
Yeah.
could fire it up. So I have done it, and it wasn't anything that I thought I'm jeopardizing myself. Like it was up near the hood,
Yeah, but if you'd gone
didn't-
slower, you'd probably been fine.
probably.
Because the intake wouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten in the intake.
And I was following a buddy with a snorkel and just thinking, oh, well, it's not over the hood. And in my mind, over the hood's problem area.
Yeah.
Lapping up near the hood, not a problem. Apparently, intake was lower than
Yeah,
I realized.
it'll do it.
Well, I'm excited to see this Bronco.
I'm excited because, like I said, I'm a fan of all of them. So the more the merrier.
I just can't believe no one's competing. Like, remember when Toyota came out with that FJ Cruiser? They made
Yep.
Yep.
that two-door. It's a cool-looking truck.
Was
Yeah.
it?
I thought so. You didn't think so?
Not really.
I liked it because everything in it was waterproof. You could hose it out. So
That's
it had
cool.
like
Very
it was-
utilitarian.
But it didn't look cool, is what I'm saying.
I thought it looked really cool.
Really?
I did. I thought it was an all right truck.
I like the thought and idea behind it because I was glad they were doing something different. Like even with like the Chevy HHR and the PT Cruisers, they were ugly, but I'm like, at least
You
they're
tried.
trying something different here because
Yeah.
how many Accords, Civics,
Jeeps.
Escorts, like how many sedans that look exactly alike do we need out there? Like flip the script, do a little something funky.
yeah. But
Kinda
I thought
cool.
the FJ should have had a removable top.
Yeah.
I thought that was their biggest screw up with that vehicle because they had a platform to compete with the Jeep, and they just didn't take that other step. I think that's what will change the game for the Bronco. I'm
But is the
hoping-
Bronco going to have the removable top like the old ones where it's only the back half?
I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know that because I haven't obviously seen it, but I would assume. They said it would come with a soft top or a hard top, and they said that you could keep the doors stored on the vehicle, like inside. They
that's
have a place to
crucial.
put the doors, so you're out cruising.
That's cool.
That would be. That's one thing Jeep doesn't have, and it's always kind of been a pain in the ass.
You got to
Like,
leave with the doors or
yeah, you're either with or
Yeah.
without, unless you just want to like pile them in the
unless
back.
you have those shitty soft side doors that don't really do anything.
I like those. I think those look kind of cool. But have you ever been in a car with a soft side door?
Oh yeah,
It's like literally a metal rail with cloth just
Yeah.
flapping on the other
they're
side.
loud as shit.
Yeah, it's a horrible setup. So that's what I had on that old CJ that Ely used to work on quite a bit.
That's all.
And-
That's all those are good for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Working on.
that's about right. That's it. Well, hopefully the Broncos are a little bit better because I'm pulling for them.
Yeah.
I want that to be a badass vehicle.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd get one. A 4-door.
If it was sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a Ford guy though, so like you would you ever own a Jeep?
I'm reluctant to own anything that's my problem with Jeep has always been towing capacity and the
Yeah.
lack of any awesome motor. And I want to say awesome, the 4 liters an awesome motor, but a strong V8.
Yeah, but it's not a
Yeah.
powerful,
Yeah.
torquey
Yeah.
motor.
Tows like 3,000 pounds. They're just, to me, that just steers me away from them.
Yeah.
It always has.
They're coming out with a diesel
Yeah.
Jeep in the near future, so that'll be the first one. But that's the complaint I'd heard out of everybody who was like a man.
Yeah.
They were like, "Well, I can't tow anything. Like I like all the other utilitarian stuff
Exactly.
it does, but doesn't tow anything."
Well, chances are, if you have one, you're probably going to maybe have a 4-wheeler, a motorcycle, or a camper or something.
Yeah.
You're going to want to tow around with it. It's
Yeah,
like,
And
'cause
imagine if you could have a Jeep that could tow 10,000 pounds. It'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
That would be the one.
Yes.
Even if it could tow like 7,500,
Yeah.
I think it would certainly fit the vast majority of people's needs for
Yes,
towing.
Absolutely.
for sure.
But it just doesn't,
Yeah.
and that's always been the knock on
The
it.
rub. Yeah.
But that's coming, and I was disappointed when they came out with the new Jeep. They dropped it with a 4-cylinder turbo or the 6, and I'm like, you haven't fixed your problem. Like, yes,
Yeah.
you made it more fuel economic, but that's not what I was.
Why'd
looking
they get
for.
rid of the inline 6 that was so popular? I mean, I've never heard a bad thing about that engine.
That was
Yeah.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they came out with something called the Pentastar V6. People swear by
Penis?
that. Penastar, PENA star.
Well, you said penis.
Did I say penis?
I thought you did.
It's on the
I
mind.
was thinking it
Yeah.
for sure.
What can you do? Yeah, have you seen the new Penastar motor? It's amazing. It's so strong.
It's rock hard.
Yep. You rub it. Now it's a 4-door.
That's right.
It's a penis joke.
I think our listeners picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah, I'll try to use the soundboard more.
There you go.
Usually by the time I've had the second episode, it's like I've been drinking a little. Like the soundboard makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds cool to me.
Ford's famous for getting rid of their V8s too, though. So I doubt it'll have something awesome.
If it's built on the Ranger platform, it'll probably just, I assume the Ranger's got a
Can't
6 in it.
imagine it'll hold a V8.
Right.
That's true. Well, they said that they're going to create an entire small SUV lineup on the Ranger. Like the platform that came out with the Ranger now, it's out there. And
I'm guessing the new Ranger's bigger than the one that I'm picturing in my head.
it is.
It's like a Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which those are dope looking. Those 4-door Colorados, they look
Mhm.
pretty slick.
Yeah.
The new Ranger looks pretty slick. Like it's a good looking truck.
Yeah.
But it's like a little
that
F-150.
Tacoma, Colorado market is large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entry level 4-door.
It's about to get better.
Yeah.
So finally, a little competition for the Jeep.
My next vehicle will be a 4-door pickup, I think.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
I mean, it suits all your needs.
Yeah.
Throw a tonneau cover on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they make dope ones now that are actually waterproof and lockable and stuff.
They
Like,
do.
So do you see now? I'm gonna go right down this list. I'm gonna do
Okay.
all the
What else you got?
B-sides.
there's one up here that Ely's been talking about for a while that I want to
What?
get him
Well,
fired
go
up
to it
on.
then. Go to it. Let's get it.
The dog parks. You mentioned it a few weeks ago in passing, and we never got to it.
Yeah, it just literally says dog parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get you fired up again.
Dog parks.
It's late
and
at night.
Dog
is.
daycares, just those in general. I just don't know that and the rub came from. I guess I need to add a little context. So we have a place in a campground. You've been there down in Bethpage in Urbana, and in the off season, the company has a bunch of money, and so they're like, "What should we do to upgrade the place?"
Yeah.
So they ask for ideas. What makes the most sense?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do people want?
Good God.
You know what I mean? So
Dog parks are a good thing for that down there,
People-
right?
why? I don't understand why. It's not Manhattan. It's in the middle of the woods.
True.
It's like these people I'm fascinated that one, it's like the number one place for dogs to get hurt.
Yeah, that's
In
true.
the dog park?
Yes.
It does seem like it's
That
You're
makes
letting
sense.
a dog off of a leash and with dogs that they don't know.
yeah.
With other dogs that haven't been off a leash all week either.
Right.
It seems like a self-selecting group. I know when we lived in the city and we had a dog, we didn't have a yard, and we would walk it up and down the city blocks, and every now and then we'd take it to the dog park over there by the Caroline. And it was just weird because people would literally get in there, unleash their dogs, and just be like, all right, good luck out there.
Yeah.
And it's like scrapping over here, like people not cleaning
And
up.
my dog's a beta. And like I would bring him to the dog park when he was young and he would just get worked.
Yeah.
Like other dogs would just beat the crap out of him. And he was like, I'm not having a great time. So I stopped going to the dog park because I was
Yeah.
like, it seems like all the degenerates would bring their dogs there.
Exactly.
And they'd be like, no, I'm going to bring my dog there and I'm just going to let him kill shit.
Yeah.
And my poor dog would just get killed.
And then they get all defensive if you said something. It's like,
People get real aggressive when you like scold their dog. Like it's like scolding someone's child. You're like, hey, get your dog off. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Goes
don't
to
yell at my dog.
This world of where we have put pets these days.
oh, don't get
Just
me
baffles
started
my
on that,
mind,
dude.
Dog parks had rubbed me the wrong way, and then all right, I had heard of the words doggy daycare before. Like I heard someone say
yeah.
those words, but I'd never met a human or thought that they existed. I met someone the other day who's like, "Yeah, my dog goes to daycare every day, like your kid."
Every day.
Yes,
Dude, I got a buddy, and you know him, lives up in Northern Virginia, and he drives every day 20 minutes one direction, drops his dog off at the preferred doggy daycare, turns around, drives that 20 minutes back, then does the commute to work. So he adds 40 minutes to his commute
He has
in the
an
wrong
hour.
direction because it's the preferred doggy daycare. Like, that's the one his dog likes. That's where he wants to be.
because his dog told
His
him
dog-
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I don't
Who
understand.
the fuck?
Flip to it in the yellow pages.
Yeah,
and said,
it was like this
is
one.
my jam.
Yeah,
Spike down the street, that's where he goes, and he told me it's the spot.
That's his boy.
Yeah.
And then you get the other, was there like WAG? There's all these like services where people show
Yeah.
up and they take care of your dog. There's a huge industry.
I love the idea of that,
and
too.
I feel like it's the ultimate first world white folk thing
Yeah.
on the planet.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
It is the
Well, we put
God.
these personalities and these human traits on our dogs.
That's exactly
and it's
right.
Like, your dog's a
he's-
goddamn dog.
yes, he wants food and you to love him.
Yeah.
That's it.
And by the way, if it's not you, the next person that gives them food will fucking
Right.
that dog will love.
Exactly. Like
You're no fucking
Where are we
Yeah, they
nothing
move
special.
on quick.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're creatures.
And it's like this dog park that they put up is in the middle of this field that they used to use for concerts. Kids used to play, sports. And now there's this giant fucking dog park because a handful of people want somewhere to take Fluffy.
Because they're
It's-
too lazy to walk their dog.
Right, you're in.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, it's not Manhattan. You're in the middle of the woods.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
There's
you
plenty of places to walk this fucking thing.
But you do
You could
agree
walk
with
for
the dog
miles
park
in
the
that
city.
place.
Yes, I
So
get that.
City dog parks make sense.
A dog park makes sense if you need a place for your dog to go
And run.
and run, maybe take a shit. The idea that like my dog told me that he needs someone to play with is dumb to me.
Some of these dog parks are like a quarter acre too. Like you ever gone in? Like it's like a little tiny plot of land.
Yeah.
The dogs are all on top. Like they can barely run to one end before
They
they,
can't
have
even
to
get
like,
up to speed.
Yeah, and then they got to slam the brakes and turn around and like run back. I've seen some of these, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like just if that's a dog park, put them in the garage with a rawhide.
Exactly.
Like enjoy your day, dog.
I've heard of the daycare thing. I had a roommate years and years ago who would take the dog to daycare because it was like crate train, and like once or twice a week he'd take it to the daycare to let it go bananas instead of sitting in the crate all day.
Yeah.
And I get that, I guess. I mean, I would never do it like the dog we had. Like, we got it, we crate trained it. After a few weeks, we let it out in a room. After a few weeks, we let it out in the upstairs. After a few weeks, we let it out in the house.
Yeah.
And it just roamed the house all day.
Right.
That is the proper.
And then in the morning and the afternoon, we'd
But
let
then
it.
we started getting massive cases of doggy depression, didn't you?
Oh,
know
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of
I
articles.
came in one day.
Hold on, this is a thing.
No.
I
Oh,
came in
God.
one day and she'd overdosed on some pills and slit one of her paws. It was sad.
Yeah. There's just so much. And then there's this other thing where you can't get animals like rawhide anymore or any kind of
Oh,
bone.
yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah, you know they just eat carcasses.
Well,
in
and they're
the
supposed to be
wild.
vegan,
Right.
too.
yeah.
Vegan pet food now is a huge thing. Like, you know what they eat in the wild, right?
Yeah,
Each other.
Right.
butthole out of a goat.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Vegan butthole.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
They're not monsters.
Yeah,
So,
people
yeah.
are weird, dude. It's,
So, anyways, it rubbed me wrong extra because we're trying to increase value in this campground, and you know what I mean? And the fact that, like,
we've got this spot over here where it's just full of dog shit.
yeah.
That's brings up
Yeah.
so much value.
It seems like all it is causes stress on the owners.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You're sitting there stressed about whether your dog is going to get
Mauled to death.
Mauled. It just doesn't make sense to me. Just walk the motherfucker.
Walk
Let
the
him
dog.
sniff the neighbor's dog and go back to fucking the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you ever done this? I've been to a dog party where like they.
Oh my god.
I have.
been one of those too, dude, and I swear to God, it was awful. And at least I'll give the couple credit because this was pre-kid. I'll give everybody the slide on the pre-kid thing because they're acting like it's their kid. But once you have children and you still put your dog on that level, I can't talk to you anymore. Like, it's
I
just
thought the dog party was all right. Like I went. Dude was like, I'm having a dog party. I was like, well, what does that mean? He's like, oh, we're just still going to drink beer. Just bring your dog. It's like, all right. So I went over there, and he had a big fenced-in yard. And they all just sat there, and we grilled out. And I was like, that's okay. Like, that didn't bother me. Now, my
So
dog
they
still
didn't-
got
They
beta.
didn't set the dog at the table with the birthday hat and give
No,
it
hell
a doggy
no.
a cake.
No.
A doggy cake.
So was it more
No,
of a,
you're mocking it. I see.
No, there's people that get fucking
Yeah,
doggy
yeah.
cakes.
No, it just meant let's get together and have a barbecue, but bring your dog, and I have a big
well, then
fenced-in
that's
yard.
fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought it
a
was
party
cool.
with dogs. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was all
Yeah.
right. I was like, hey, thanks for allowing me to do that. My
Right.
dog slept the rest of the day after getting his ass kicked because he's still a beta. I can't fix that.
Keep going back to that, I see, huh?
You've seen my dog.
Yeah, but he takes after you, so wouldn't he be a beta?
I'm the alpha.
Hemorrhoid thing around his neck. Dead giveaway.
It's unfortunate his lot.
What we
in
didn't
life.
hear was
I-
the neighbor dog put that on his neck.
Here, bitch.
yeah.
have this beta.
I
It's a
will.
Zen
I will
collar.
acknowledge I'm the weirdo when it comes to pets because I look at all pets as pets, and I know that most people don't. And
I'm the same way.
I guess that's on me. I should. I mean, I'm sure 98% of the people listening to this will be like, "You're the fucking
I
weirdo."
fully agree. I've come to realize that I'm
Yeah, you're-
weird in that regard.
You are the minority on this
Absolutely.
one. I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah.
even though we're the majority in this room.
Where do you guys stand on doodles?
I don't know what that is.
The breed,
So
like
basically,
Labradoodles, and
Oh.
yeah, you take any dog and you mix it with a poodle to make it hyperallergenic,
Yeah.
but then it gets like that curly hair, and you
Yeah.
have to get them groomed. You can't they don't just shed,
we thought about getting one because we know some people that have one, and they say, and my son has dog allergies, but they say that's not a guarantee either.
No, I mean technically, if you want it to be hypoallergenic, you need to have 2 so you mix, like, we'll say a Dalmatian and a poodle. Then you take that offspring and you mix it with a poodle. Now you have a hypoallergenic dog. That first generation is not going to be as hypoallergenic. And that's how you get to, like, that
Because they don't have fur, they have hair.
Yeah. But my wife is now insisting that our next dog has to be a doodle, and I find these things doofy looking with their curly hair and everything. Like, I don't want a doodle.
Yeah.
And
You need a Pomsky.
What is
It's a husky Pomeranian.
But how is that? It's not hypoallergenic, I'm assuming.
No, but it's the coolest looking thing on the earth.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's a lot of cool dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. But she's insisting that it be doodled because she has allergies. And I'm
Y'all
like,
are already moving on to the next dog.
Yeah.
dude, this dog's been dead for 6 months.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you will.
I love the guy.
You're
He's
not
here.
gonna have a. You're not gonna have a break and go dogless for a while.
We will naturally because we insist on finding a dog that's, like, out of a shelter. And she wants something doodled.
It's gonna be hard to find.
I'll get to pick the other breed that gets doodled, and then it'll take us, a year to find the damn thing. So naturally there'll be a break unless the doodle stork shows up.
I have loved not having a dog in my house. It's been awesome.
I love having a dog.
Look at those things.
Dude, that's a good looking dog.
They're super
Let me see
tiny.
it.
They never
I'll
get big.
give you that. That's a good looking dog.
Yeah.
But unfortunately the wife wants hypoallergenic, so I'm stuck with the doodle.
Look
and
at that shit,
I
dude.
can't get behind the fact that they just wow.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a say in this fucking dog. That's for sure.
No, I keep bringing it up that, like, I don't want to get the doodle, and she's like, yeah, we're getting the doodle.
Yeah.
So I've already lost the battle, but I just continue to fight.
I have a weird relationship with dogs. I want dogs, but I hate them when I have them.
Yeah.
It's super weird.
Well, I've been spoiled by this one here. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He just hangs out by my side.
I love
doesn't do
the
anything.
dog I had before I had kids, but once I had kids and they started eating up my time and energy, I would just walk past my dog because I'd be like,
Yeah.
I got to take care of other shit. And
Maybe-
and then all I got out of it was like the kids would want to go play in the yard, and it'd be like, all right, well, every time I have to go out there and clean up shit.
Yeah.
And I would never get it all.
Right, exactly.
Had a neighbor over one time when my boys were little, and he just like, I mean, he could barely walk, and he just fell backwards, just straight flat back, and just his back.
Into a patty.
Dude, just it wasn't a patty.
No, it was a squishy.
It was a nice mound. He made it into
no.
a patty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, his mom's there. I'm like, I guess I missed that one. That one's on me.
My bad. Yeah.
What do? You got to wash the kids' clothes and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh, that's
just
the worst.
awful, dude.
Yeah, dogs definitely bring poop.
I would have a cat in a second, but we can't have cats either because at least cats can take care of themselves more.
A cat, you go away for a week, just leave enough
Exactly.
food out, and it's
Yeah.
like all is well.
Yeah, cat's
Unless
like,
you-
sweet, you're gone. See you later, nerd.
Unless you had the stupid diabetic cat that I have, where you leave a week's worth of food, he eats it all in a day, blood sugar spikes, and then ends up in a coma. You get a call from your mother-in-law late night, your cat's in a coma, and you're like, you've ruined the wedding.
Yeah,
Long story.
good times.
That is how that went down, though.
What were you? You look like you were going to say something.
You mentioned washing the kids' clothes. I got a new washer and dryer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Not
Pretty
the front
stoked
load
about
crap.
Not the front loader.
Top loader.
Yeah,
Good.
Super stoked.
I don't know why we started doing that front load
don't
nonsense.
either.
It's just new technology. You thought it was awesome.
Yeah. But the top loader is awesome. So the first load I did, I was like, I went back there and I got a shit ton of clothes to do. So I'm like, all right, I got a large one. I'm going to grab.
All of it.
Shit,
It's
not all of it.
amazing what large does.
But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to, not all of it, but I'm like, this is my normal one. I'm going to grab a heavy load, see if it can deal
Yeah.
with it. Took the heavy load, dropped it in, didn't even fill it up halfway.
Isn't that the
That's
best?
amazing.
I was like, oh my God.
That's
this
exactly
is next
Doesn't have the
level.
agitator in the middle.
No.
Yeah, isn't that
doesn't.
awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife was like, we got to get one. This thing's leaking. And so I was like, all right, bit the bullet.
Yeah.
She came home, it got installed, and I'm like, all right, I mean, I guess it's cool. The first time I put that massive load in and it was 70% full,
Yeah.
I was like, game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring a comforter.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the front loader, and of course we bought it 11 years ago, so it was the hot ticket item. And the one good thing is, for us, we don't have a laundry room. Our washer dryer's right off the kitchen, so we can use the top of it to like put the laundry and stuff
Nice,
on, which
yeah.
is nice. But we will go to the top loader after because
Oh, yeah.
shit leaks and gets all moldy and gross.
The mold is what
It just
kills
looks
me.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's you get to watch it turn.
Well, the idea is that if you can fill it up with that much water and all of the clothes spin through it, so you save water.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
But the new ones, the new top loads, don't fill it up all the way like it used to.
Yeah.
It just still fills it up a little bit. So
Makes
How's
sense.
it cycle it?
I haven't watched the whole thing, but
It's got some cool new way
I
of
guess I should
agitating
I
it
should
around.
stare at it because mine has like a glass top.
yeah, it
So
was
I
like,
can watch. I'm like, ooh, fancy.
exactly.
It's got like LED
Slow
neon in
closing
there.
the lid and shit.
Yeah,
locks the
which
lid.
is
Yeah,
nice.
it's
And
Yeah,
you
it
know, you
does
don't
the
have to
whole
put nearly as much,
No, you have to use the HE, the high efficiency.
but you don't have to put a
detergent.
lot in there.
No.
Everybody always fills those caps up. It's like just put
No,
a splash
no,
of that
no,
shit in
no.
there. You're not rolling.
Yeah.
You're not working in the field all fucking day.
Well, if the bottle says HE, it's like extra concentrated.
Yeah.
So you're only supposed to use,
It adds up.
for sure.
Troy, I got an old story up here that I want to get to of one of yours.
Which one would that be?
You were at a bar. I don't know how long ago this was. You were at a bar and you met a gentleman.
Oh yeah,
That doesn't narrow it down for
Gentlemen
him.
call call that a Tuesday, dude.
Yeah, I was out of town, which is rare, and me and my buddy, my coworker, we went to a couple different bars, and we ended up last bar of the night. We ended up back at the hotel, and I was feeling good, having a good time. So I said, "Hey man, let's stop at the hotel bar."
Why not?
Because we had to walk right past it to get to the elevator anyway.
It's always the last drink
Yeah.
of the night. If you got a buddy and you guys are staying at some hotel, it's like you may as well get that last drink and then go your separate ways.
So I sat up at the bar, and there were people up and down the bar, and my buddy, he sat at the bar, but then he got a phone call, and he went and was on the phone, and then he was messing around, and me being one to talk to anybody, there was a dude sitting next to me, and then another couple sitting on the other side of him, and they were talking music, and they were just, they were going back and forth. They just ramble off a singer, songwriter, and what do you think of this person? What do you think of this person?
Yeah.
So, it was a white guy next to me and then an African-American couple next to him. And they're going on. They're throwing out Mariah Carey. They're throwing out, Diana Ross. They're
Really
throwing
obscure shit.
they're throwing out
Yeah.
throwing out Barbara Streisand. And I just start saying, what do I think
Barbara Streisand.
about all these singers.
They said Barbara Streisand, so I moved down a seat.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I got to go.
So I was like, yes, I don't care for any of her stuff.
Yeah.
So the dude turns to me without missing a beat. He's like, "Are you gay?"
Oh, so his gaydar was spot on.
Yeah, like
I
it
like
was
that.
pegged. It was-
Tuned in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I saw
And
you
I was
talking
like-
to us.
Like one of the first things that he said
Yeah,
to you
yeah,
was this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
who
Not
opens
you've been
a-
shooting the breeze for 20 minutes.
we've been talking
Have
about.
you ever started a conversation with someone by asking them if they're gay? I feel like that's one of those things they'll volunteer if they choose to.
Yeah.
Well, that means that he is, and he's asking,
So
Okay, I could see that.
for sure.
the
can
way
see
I
that.
was looking at it was, the dude was not. My gaydar was broken because he wasn't. He didn't look the part, didn't act the part, didn't sound the part. He was just a dude sitting there having a drink.
Was he bearded?
Yeah, he had a beard.
All right, I'm just
And I was like, no. I was like, why would you ask that? He's like, well, I've never known a straight
Shucks.
guy that knew music like that knew these singers.
Well, were you hitting on some like obscure ass?
No, just they were talking a
People?
lot of female singers. And
Oh, so you're like, yeah, Lady Gaga. That's
yeah,
my shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I was
I'm a
like,
wrecking ball.
I actually threw out Miley Cyrus. I was like, I like all music. And so I was like, are you gay? He's like, yes. Like I was supposed to.
That does make it a little
Nailed it.
better.
Like
oh,
I was
yeah.
supposed to know that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so we got to chit chatting after this whole weird
Now
interaction.
Troy's interested.
Yeah. So now I gotta get his number.
Yeah. I got to get this to the
So
next level.
we start bullshitting, and he asked me if I was married, and I said yes. And I was like, "Are you?" He said, "Yeah, 26 years." And he showed me a picture of his husband, of them young and them older. And he's like, "You're hilarious." And so I was like, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Cincinnati swap this guy."
Damn right. I was just about to say,
so
as
I
soon
was
as
like-
someone says you're funny, sign him up.
Yeah, I was like, well, I got a podcast and I love to talk, so you're going to love this. So he's like, cool. So I get on his phone and Cincinnati swap him. And I'm like, what do you do? This dude is a sex therapist.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
What are the odds?
I know, right? It was so he was so cool and so interesting to talk to. And
Do you like this? Do you like this?
I'm having trouble figuring out what a vagina feels like. Can you help me?
I've got this one glaring problem with my
Yeah.
sex therapy business.
so it was funny though when
I
he,
know nothing about sex with women.
Like,
when he did ask me if I was gay, and I was like, no, and he was like, you don't look like the type of guy that would know. You know, I've never known a straight guy that looks like you that would know these singers. And I was like, that's pretty stereotypical
I
of
was
you.
about to say that's
I was
pretty
like,
presumptuous.
you of all people should know better, sir. And he
Exactly.
was laughing. He's like, you're right. He's like, you're right. I shouldn't have assumed as much. I was like, I think we've all learned something here tonight.
Yeah. That's yeah.
But yeah, that was a very
And also identify as a doorknob. So
yeah,
what's it to you?
yeah.
Exactly.
I did tell him, I was like, you don't know what I'm into, dude.
Yeah.
I could be into some crazy shit.
That's right.
Like
So-
chicks.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
It's like, oh, I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
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 So hopefully Dr. Joe's a listener, and he'll hear this story and
Nice.
recall it fondly.
I wish he could call in because we could use a resident sex therapist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
Where's he like out of town?
Yeah, he was out of town because he friended me on Facebook. So,
So you're in contact.
yeah. So
He's trying to make you the meat in his sandwich.
He travels all the time, it sounds like. Just
Yeah.
doing
We need to get
doing-
Dr. Joe on.
for sure.
doing speeches and writing books and all kinds of stuff. He has a podcast.
Nice.
You want to give him a plug or do you not know what
I don't
it is?
know what it is. I
Well
didn't
played.
delve into the whole thing. I'm sure it's sex therapy talking type
Yeah.
stuff, which is huge in the podcast world, by the way.
Yeah, Dr.
Really?
Joe talks
Oh,
sex.
dude, yeah, man. You find some chicks that talk about sex, that's going to be a number one podcast right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's those two guys we've slept with?
Guys
They-
we fucked.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
podcast kills.
Well, there's a girl on the podcast group that we're local girl on the podcast group that we're on who started a sex talking podcast and immediately jumped up on the charts.
Is that
Oh, really?
Yeah.
the burlesque girl or
No, some other girl, woman, I should say.
let's get her on. And then bring Dr. Joe in.
Yeah.
Point counterpoint.
Here's why vaginas suck.
The one
Yeah.
thing we agree on is doggy. Like, I'll give you that.
Right.
Fair enough, Dr. Joe.
But yeah, that was a fun conversation.
Yeah, say the oh, dude.
Where was this?
This was in Norfolk.
Oh, okay.
All right, this is an interesting one.
What?
All
I
right.
saw this and I can't wait to take it off the board because it's a 2-minute conversation. But Urban Outfitters right now, if you go on their website, they're actually selling a mystery box of 5 VHS tapes. And that's all it is.
Really?
Mystery box of 5 VHS comedies from the 80s and 90s.
So they're comedies.
Yeah, they won't tell you what they are, and it's $40.
$40.
$40.
What?
Urban Outfitters, if you go on
So
there.
it's like original pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a mystery box. You
Price
don't get
tag's
to
still on it.
You don't get to select if it's going to be like Back to the Future or some shit or
My
weird
question
science.
is, how did Urban Outfitters come across this fucking plethora of fucking comedies?
Right.
It blew my mind.
They
Like,
buy a blockbuster or something?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
they did like Storage
Hollywood
Wars.
Video.
remember those? Like when the new movie came out, they would have like
50 of
120
them,
fucking
yeah.
ones, and then like,
Guaranteed that it'll be in. Like,
and then
yes.
the movie that you wanted to see from '82, they had like one copy
Oh,
of.
yeah.
What asshole is going on to Urban Outfitters and going
Looking
you
for
know what?
VHS tapes?
$40. I'll take a mystery box of 5 VHS tapes.
And
It's
3
got to be some
t-shirts.
hipster nostalgia shit, right?
So that's what I was wondering, right? Because Urban Outfitters is kind of hip, right? They're usually kind of on the cutting edge. Is VHS making a comeback that we're unaware of? Because why are they selling these?
Well, it's got to be trendy because records are making a comeback, and I've heard tapes are
I heard
too.
tapes are
So,
too. Yeah, you can buy a boombox right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's back. Like people are doing.
And if you have an
tapes
old
again.
boombox, they're worth tons of money.
Really?
Yeah, like if you have an old like mid 80s OG.
Like a real ghetto blaster,
yeah.
like big old speakers.
Yeah,
Like you need
That's-
all the D batteries to run that
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like those things go for hundreds of dollars.
Wow,
It's crazy.
that's cool.
So maybe it's happening. Boy, mini discs got to be on the horizon.
No,
God, it's never going to come back.
I can't imagine watching a VHS tape now.
No.
It's got to look like shit on your HD
For
TV.
sure.
I mean, it looked like shit back in the day.
Oh, and they degrade over time because
Yeah.
that stuff's held on magnetically.
Yeah.
It's not like it's burnt in. And so
No.
over time, it loses its
literally
magnetism
falls
and it
apart,
falls
yeah.
apart. Yeah, and the quality just degrades. It never stays. It's not a constant.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Don't put those in your time capsule.
Do not. Do not.
100 years later, what's this blank tape in this weird paper sleeve?
exactly.
Yeah. Well, you can go on Urban Outfitters right now and get 5 VHS tapes for $40.
I want to know. They must have acquired Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't understand why they would have such a
why the
glut.
price point? That's a weird price point.
it's super high.
I feel like $20 would be like,
Yeah,
okay, I'll
right.
do it. Like,
$4 each.
especially because you're rolling the dice. Like,
Right.
you could get
Yeah.
5 fucking junkers in there, you know?
Yeah, a couple Pee Wee Hermans.
Well,
I
come
said
on
junkers.
now. Yeah, Pee Wee Herman has. It's a classic.
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
Yeah. Woo! That scene used to scare the
Oh,
shit
my
out
God.
of me.
Did it-
And I would pause it on the VHS just to see all the crazy eye
Yeah.
boggling out of her head and everything.
Yeah, that was a haunting scene for sure.
Oh, dude, it messed me up every time. All right, Chuck E. Cheese theory. You know how we were talking about Chuck E. Cheese hot the other day?
Yeah.
Yes.
A bunch of people started sending in a Chuck E. Cheese, like, I don't know if it's an urban
Conspiracy
legend or a
theory?
conspiracy, but yeah, it's probably more conspiracy than anything.
Okay.
So Chuck E. Cheese pizzas always come out looking kind of odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a bunch of people started taking pictures of their Chuck E. Cheese pizzas because the slices don't line up properly.
Yeah.
So there's a conspiracy theory that Chuck E. Cheese is going around and picking up the old pizza slices, taking them in the back, putting them back together into a pizza, heating it up, and then bringing it back out for your kid's party.
Yeah, because I guess if you reheat it, the cheese and everything will kind of slide back together a little and
Yep.
maybe fill it in. And you can be like, we cut it in the back.
Yeah. See how the cheese is pulling off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy theory.
Wow.
And there's people all over the internet taking pictures of their Chuck E. Cheese pizza where the slices don't line up right. Like they're not coming to the right point. They're kind of like formed in there. Now, I just believe it's probably because Chuck E. Cheese doesn't have the best quality and that every pizza is different. I'm willing to
Yeah.
give them that.
Yeah.
Or they might legitimately bake a couple pieces and cut them in half and then sling 2 halves together. Like, doesn't mean it's been out.
You know
and-
what? That's actually, but Chuck E. Cheese vehemently denies that they're doing any kind of reheating or anything. Obviously,
Obviously.
you're not going to say, yes, you
They're
caught
gonna-
us.
You got me.
90% of our pizzas are fresh, but there
We
is
do that on the
typically
reg.
one slice. But so there's pictures everywhere. And after we
I gotta
did
look this up.
the Chuck E. Cheese hot episode, we ended up getting a bunch of people sending that in, talking about
Oh,
the
really?
Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy
Nice.
theory of them reusing slices.
That's crazy.
I found
Did we
it to
ever-
be interesting.
Did we ever talk about it? I totally forgot. There was, and here in Richmond, I guess they were national. There was another version of Chuck E. Cheese called Showbiz Pizza.
Oh, I grew up on Showbiz Pizza.
Really?
Yeah, so Chuck E. Cheese is a rat, Showbiz is a bear.
Bear, yeah.
And so
I'd totally forgotten about that.
in Chicago, they only had Showbiz. There was no Chuck E. Cheese. It wasn't until I moved out to D.C. in like 7th or 8th grade, and I was like, why the fuck do you have a rat?
Yeah, rat is a weird mascot.
It's a very odd mascot for a place. It's obviously the kind of place that'll recycle slices and jam them back together, whereas Showbiz would never do those kind of things.
It's classy like that.
And Showbiz, he was great, dude. The Showbiz bear was in like overalls.
Yeah.
He looked like the Berenstein Bears, and he would get up there and he would rock out. And I mean, he was, just like Chucky does.
Yeah.
But it was great. I always loved Showbiz Pizza. I'd never heard of Chuck E. Cheese till, like I said, 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've seen Showbiz around? I didn't know if
They had one here when I was a kid. I remember going to it because it had a weird setup where Chuck E. Cheese has like the animatronic band.
Yep.
The Showbiz one was elevated and it had like a play place under it, like tunnels and stuff. You could
No
go
way.
underneath of it. And I remember being petrified.
Which seems more apropos for the rat tunnels
Yeah.
than the bear den.
But I remember being petrified of the band as a child, and being like, I would only, and they don't play continuously, so I would like run and play in there while they weren't moving, and then
That makes sense. It's
then if they
scary.
were moving, I'd be safe underneath until they stopped, and then I would jet back out again.
Nice.
That's wild.
Those things are creepy as shit.
Oh, animatronics in general is creepy.
Yeah.
And real dolls are headed that way, so there's going to be a whole other level of creepy coming
Yeah.
very soon. That's probably a whole nother long-term
Yeah.
target. We're trying to get through the B squads. Can I grab that deli by chance? I would like to. So this one,
Ooh.
I got you an IPA.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's just a PA. It's the Napoleon Complex Hoppy Pale Ale. I figured you'd really like it because they called it a Hoppy Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Wicked Weed.
So Wicked Weed is one of those poor breweries that was super popular as a microbrew, and then were bought by Anheuser-Busch, and now everybody's furious at them. So they're in Asheville.
I'm going to let you taste this.
They're in Asheville, North Carolina brewery. And when
Napoleon Complex is a small-statured pale ale with a larger-than-life attitude. Ignoring the industry standard of diminutive hop presence and mild manner, this pale ale will have most IPAs contemplating their inadequacy. Little beer, big flavor, even bigger ego. And Wicked Weed is one of those places, as you can tell by the name, they have fully latched on to the pot,
absolutely.
like lifestyle.
Well, apparently
flavor.
hop is like a
Subset.
like a cannabis of some sort, or it's in that ballpark.
It's in the Familia.
Yeah. So, which is why they have like their hop buds.
Very
Like how
skunky flavor.
Oh, I can tell you right now. I can give you Ely's review, as I've had a couple sips.
Trash, I'm sure.
Because what they did here is they made a low alcohol content beer,
5.2.
which is why I bought it, because I do like mine to be mild mannered, and they still managed to cram all of that hop in there, despite it being low alcohol content. So I can't believe that this is going to win, based on what I've tasted. But as I drink
Nobody
it,
can convince me that that's good.
well, don't bury the lead.
Fuck the lead. That shit tastes like asshole.
You know what? We never get a chance to let Ely go first.
Yeah.
I think you're already starting.
Yes.
It's the B-side episode. How about you give it to us first, Ely? How would you rank that beer?
A 1?
Oh God, I didn't think it would be that bad.
It's fucking horrible. If if you're an anti-hop person like I am, or I should say anti-IPA excessive hop, that shit's horrible. It's almost like I don't even know how to say it. It's fucking horrible. And I
So-
can't wrap my brain around people that are like, this is awesome.
This is what I'm looking for.
Yes, this is what I want to drink when
Yeah.
I'm looking for a refreshing beer. What?
So I think as far as a hophead's concerned, this beer has all that hop that they would want, and it's a low alcohol, so it's a little more sessionable. So I think if you find that like a Founders All Day IPA is not hoppy enough for you, doesn't have enough of that pale ale thing going on, then I think you're going to like this beer a lot. It's got everything Ely hates. It's got it punches you in the mouth with hops on the front end, but more importantly, it's still there, and it will not leave. It is a hoppy
Everything
beer.
about it is miserable.
I will give this a 2.5 because it doesn't do any of it right. It doesn't do any of it wrong. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's a hoppy pale ale, but there's nothing special about this beer. I would not go out of my way to purchase this. 2.5.
This beer is everything Ely says it is. It's not good. It's and I'm with you. I cannot wrap my head around. There's certain things I don't like, but I'll go, I see why other people might like that.
Exactly.
This is over hopped without all the booze, so it's like
This
it's not
I
balanced.
agree with you. Where you can see someone's
Yeah.
perspective. This I can't even see who would want to drink that.
first, every time I take a swig of an IPA, my mouth feels furry, and I feel like I have awful breath, and
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk directly in anyone's.
And this holds on. This has
Yes.
an aftertaste. But Ely, you have actually had some IPAs that have won deli. So it's not like it's impossible for someone to do it right. This is not an example of that.
Oh, hell no.
No.
And what's funny is some of those that you've liked were like higher in alcohol content. But they managed to have some amount of balance.
Right.
This just holds on. Like, to your point, Troy, I can taste it on my breath.
Yeah.
Like, I know my breath stinks. Like, if
Yeah.
I walked inside, my wife's like, were you getting high?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Drank the fucking Napoleon complex.
Yeah, it's-
Like,
I just don't like. In the argument, a lot of these nerds say is like, "Oh, I can only have 3 or 4 of them because they're high," and I'm like, "Okay, then that's." But you don't get that with this.
no, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't do any of it particularly well because it's low alcohol content, very, very hoppy. But in particular, I like a hoppy beer that the hop doesn't hang on but so long. This has like a Malort-esque aftertaste.
I just
as far
think
as
these
how long
beer
it holds.
people have done the ultimate marketing scheme on this IPA thing.
I agree.
And tricked all these fucking dum-dums
Yeah.
who don't want to say they like fucking Coors and Bud into paying twice as much for this skunky-ass beer. I can't
Yeah.
wrap my head around it.
I
I
agree.
just can't. This is a 1. This isn't good. This isn't drinkable.
Wow. 2 1s.
It's
and
not
a 2.5.
good. It's
Wow. I didn't expect it to go over that.
That may be
poorly.
lower than that.
Could this be one of the worst beers you've ever had?
Yeah, it's close. I mean, it could be. It's really bad.
To me, it finishes cleaner than some of the IPAs we've had in the past, but it's still there. It still hangs on every breath.
Yeah. So Wicked Weed.
You suck, you jackass.
I want to immediately drink something else to wash that funk out of my mouth.
Right.
I got LaCroix over there.
And I just don't know why people would want to be out in public sucking this stuff back and be like, hey, what's going on, friendo? Like,
Friendo.
When you do come up on somebody and they've got that like hot breath, that is a bit of a turnoff. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
God, that's a lot of hot breath.
sorry, Brendan. I mean,
Actually-
I think you knew that was going to happen, but
Honestly, man, we've been on such a streak lately.
What did you give it?
2.5. I think
Okay.
it's. I mean, I wouldn't buy it again, and that's what 2.5 means.
Yeah.
3, I'd buy it again. I'd never buy this again, but I don't think it's horrible. I just think it's not good, which is right there at that 2.5 line for me. But I kind of intentionally did that because I've been buying a lot
Trying to
of
rile
beers.
me up, aren't you?
Well, no, I've been buying a lot of beers lately where I'm like, that's a good beer. Like, it
Yeah.
looks like a good beer. And we've been trying funky-ass things like
just think.
nitro porters and rosés. And, like, we've been branching out. And I wanted to get back to the root of it. And I wanted to remind you, when I saw Hoppy Pale Ale,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow, they've kicked it up. But I also had a little bit of hope for it because it was 5.2. But I also knew
Just
there's a
think
good
there's-
chance Eli'd hate it.
There's tens of thousands, maybe a million people. This is their favorite beer.
Yeah.
Like, who are these animals?
I don't know.
Weird. So weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't make the cut.
No.
That's for
No,
sure.
it did not.
It
What
did
else
not.
we got on the list?
Speaking of beers, did you see that Miller Coors is actually suing Anheuser-Busch now for releasing the corn syrup stuff?
Really?
Yeah, they're suing them because they're saying that it's unfair. They don't use corn syrup, and they intentionally put it out there to say that they use high fructose corn syrup to tap into that whole mentality.
No, they do use corn syrup.
But that's what's so crazy, right? Anheuser-Busch or Miller Coors came out and did say, no, we do use a corn syrup early on,
But
right?
not high fructose corn
But we've
syrup.
all seen that they admitted to it, right?
Yeah.
The actual paperwork that they submitted to sue Anheuser-Busch says we don't use corn syrup, which they readily admitted to. They
That's
even
gonna kill 'em.
put out on,
Yeah.
they're not going to win this case
Yeah.
because they're trying to find a way to kind of spin this. But their whole point of their argument
Yeah,
is
because don't think for a second Anheuser-Busch didn't run this through their fucking legal department to make sure when we come at them with the corn syrup thing.
they didn't say high fructose. They never
Exactly.
did. They
They
said
insinuated it.
corn syrup. But that's it. They're saying you're ruining us because you insinuated
Yeah.
we were using
That's
high
the
fructose
point.
corn syrup.
Yeah, that's
the point. You
Yeah.
allow our imagination as the person you're marketing to run wild. That's good advertising.
Yeah.
So, but now they're saying they don't even use corn syrup, which that can't be true.
Because in the actual
Apology.
document that I saw, it said we do not use high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. So maybe they're finding some loophole where they're calling it like corn
Syrup?
high viscosity
Yeah.
fluid.
Syrup?
Scissor.
Scissor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so they're actually fighting back. They're suing them.
Purple drink.
Yeah, we use corn scissor. I don't know what you're talking about.
And Bud Light cares so little.
We
that-
use maize syrup.
Yeah.
Maize syrup. Yes. That's exactly it. So now they're even coming out with like ads where like the Bud Light Knight is sitting there and he's like, well, we really seem to have stirred the pot with this. But the fact
That's
is we
awesome.
don't use corn syrup. Like they're going right at it. So it's become a whole nother level.
So by that, I would assume that it has hurt them.
I don't think they would be making such a fuss and taking it to the courts
If it hadn't
unless
cut
they
'em
saw
deep. Yeah.
some kind of a dip.
Yeah.
So they must have been hurt, and they must have seen the early returns and been like, shit, since early February, sales are down. Which good on Miller Coors. I'm not even good on Anheuser-Busch
Yeah.
for cutting them.
Yeah, I mean, it was
That's
hilarious.
what you do. Yeah.
I just really can't imagine anyone that loves Miller Coors to say, now I'm not going to drink Miller Coors.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I just
either.
can't.
Apparently some must have, though. Or why would you go through all this? Because those court fees are going to be ludicrous.
Yeah.
But they did it. We started getting a couple people, and my brother-in-law even sent it in. I was like, wow, that's wild. I read the article. It's like, look at this.
Really.
Yeah. So they're all over it. I love doing the bee thing. I can't wait to clean this board off.
Oh yeah.
I love that Natural Light ad that took a dig at Miller Lite. How they had less carbs and they spelled light correctly.
Which is a great dig.
Yeah.
It really
They're
is.
like they're like less carbs, check, less calories,
It
check.
didn't used to bother me.
Spelling
Best spelling.
champion.
Yeah, spelling champion. That's
Check.
what it was.
That's
It didn't
great.
used to bother me that it was spelled Lite, but now I am kind of like, yeah, what's up with that? Like,
Yeah, I saw a comedian do a jag about that once, and it never really hit me too. But the point of the joke was like, why are we okay with all the misspelling everything? Like,
Right.
quickie stop, fucking spelled all stupid like
QWI.
yeah, like put a Z on the end of something. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Like, just fucking spell the word
Like
correctly. Yeah, that's a real word.
Yeah.
All right, this is a throwaway comment about myself, like an idiot. I see it up there.
Okay.
So I don't know why this is, but I've got like this like Cro-Magnon patch of hair just above my, like in my lower back where like a trim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know, you guys have
Oh
those?
yeah,
I got hair everywhere. So
yeah.
So my wife's
I'm like Gaston. Every
Always-
last inch of me's covered in hair.
yeah.
You're damn right. Respect that. So Gaston's always my thing. Like the whole time we were at Disney World, the last time I kept being like, there's Gaston. He's the biggest hero in the place. And
That's right.
my girls cannot stand it. I'm like, he's the only one who gets it. He tried to protect the whole village from that dirty beast. That beast kidnapped that woman.
Yes,
Like,
Yeah.
held her against her will.
and that's always been my argument that the only hero in Beauty and the Beast is Gaston.
Yeah.
And then that fucking beast killed him. The one hope for the entire village. My girls get furious. They're like, we cannot get behind this. I'm like, well, you are wrong. You will see later in life.
Yep.
So I'm a big Gaston guy, but I digress. I've got this giant tuft of hair on my back, and I don't know what the hell was going
Your
on.
lower back.
Yeah, my lower back. It's like this.
Over the tramp stamp?
Yeah, over the LBT.
Yeah, it just goes over it. Goes
Yeah.
over it.
Huh.
And I've always had this thing, and it's out of hand. My wife's always clowning me. She's like, "Oh, your tuft's hanging out." It's like my plumber's crack. You know, like every time I
Yeah.
try to do something.
Does she trim it for you?
No, she won't go anywhere near it.
Really?
She's actually trimmed my back before, but
Okay.
so I guess yes, once she did. Once before we went to a music festival, I was like, "Hey, you got to do me a solid.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of all this hair you make."
Do
fun
you
of,
a
'cause
solid.
I don't see
Yeah.
it. You know,
Because
like,
by trimming me up, it makes you look better.
that's probably true. Little manscaping on
Yeah.
her part wouldn't hurt either of our cars.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was sitting there and I had this lighter in my pocket. I don't know why, but I've always been weird. Like as a little kid, like I would like burn hairs on my.
Everybody likes that.
It smells horrible.
It does.
Yeah.
So bad. I'm weird like that. But I'm on a work call and I'm walking around. I'm flicking a lighter because I pace when I walk. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like rubbing my back and it was like, oh man, like this is all this tuft hair. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I'm sitting there on a call and I reached behind my back with the lighter and I lit like at the tuft and I figured it would just do a little. dude.
Like on purpose or just
Yeah, like
inadvertently?
No, on purpose. I was like, I just wanted to hear it go like really quick. I don't know what the hell. I was just ADD, man. I'm constantly doing things that I shouldn't be doing while I'm doing the
and
things
you were
I should
doing
be
multiple different things, too.
Yeah, and I'm just walking around pacing. I lit it. Oh, shit. I did not realize how dense that forest was.
Oh, no.
I full-blown started like a brush fire. And it went off while I'm on this
Back brush.
Like the whole thing. Like I lit this little section and it went across and up my back and it burnt the shit out of me.
Oh, my God.
Like it was
And you're on a
awful.
call.
I'm on a call.
So
And it just spread like wildfire.
did you keep cool under pressure? Or
Oh
did you
yeah,
lose
I held
shit?
it together. No, I held it together, but I'm like, ah, like I had to like pull the phone away from
So
my
was
head.
it miserable, or is it a good way to get rid of this hair in the future?
Horrible decision. Horrible
Okay.
decision. Would not do it. So for the next like hour, the whole house stunk. So after I get off the call, then I'm in there and I'm like, I'm playing prevent defense. I'm spraying all kinds of stuff. So when the wife and kids get home, they won't be like, "Did you burn a body? Like what the hell happened?"
Yeah.
I did
And
not.
they didn't take it all
anticipate-
away. Then you just had like weird burnt hair ends on your
Yeah, there were a
back.
couple stragglers, and then
Yeah.
I had to like try to like shave it and do all this. It was a miserable experience. But the
Sounds
whole thing
bad.
went up so fast, and then it burnt down to the core on a handful of spots. And I had like hot spots on my back. I burned myself up really bad. This is probably like a month ago. This has still been sitting on the board
Wow.
forever. So
Don't do that again.
I'm glad to finally get it off my chest.
Yeah.
Off your back.
Boom.
I see what you did there.
There it is. I couldn't even find my boom. Where's my pat?
Bad.
Boom. There it is.
There's Pat.
Where is Pat? I
Dude,
think we're missing Pat.
there's something up there I wanted to talk about we ain't gotten to. I had something happen to me a couple weeks ago. It's actually a couple weeks ago when I was out of town for work. We stopped at a restaurant on the way back. And my buddy had been talking this place up. It had the best tacos ever. The best tacos ever. And, been on this diet and been not eating anything delicious. But I was like, I'm out of town on work.
Tacos kind of low
I'm
carb.
fucking crushing this. I'm going to do it.
I can put my head around that though. Like anything in a wrap, to me, I go, well, it's not leaven bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any truth to it, but that's how I do that sometimes.
So we stopped at this joint, and it opened at 11. We got there like 11:15. It was a Wednesday, so it
What's
wasn't.
it called?
I don't want to put it out
Okay.
there because the food was amazing once I got it. But
Okay, then that sounds all right. So it's
I'll
not
tell
like
you
the
off
Wicked
air.
Weed.
Okay.
It's not like how you destroyed Wicked Weed earlier.
no, and I'll tell the story and then I'll give you my points. So we get there. There's like 3 groups of people there. It's pretty dead. Just open. It's a Wednesday. Lunch crowd's not in yet. Waitress comes over. We order some waters. She gives us our waters. Comes back. We each order 3 tacos off the menu. Just boom, boom. All right.
Easy.
No appetizers. No anything else.
It's just 2 of you?
Just 2 of us.
Okay.
We can see the kitchen from where we're sitting. We're just hanging out. 10 minutes goes by. 20 minutes goes by. They're bringing out. The kitchen's just pumping out to-go orders. Like, I don't know if it's people picking stuff up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's DoorDash or whatever the
Nothing
hell.
worse than when you're starving, you just see everyone else's
dude-
food coming
Oh, yeah.
out.
This is a night after a bender. I never ate breakfast, and it's like coming up on noon now. And I'm like, I'm hangry. I'm pissed and hungry.
And you get angry.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like you're one of those very. I am too. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not, but you're very susceptible
Yeah.
to when you're angry. You're like mother.
So it's been like over 30 minutes, and the waitress keeps coming by and looking at us and checking on us, filling our water. Hey, you guys okay? We're like, yeah.
You guys need more water?
Yeah. But she's like, keeps asking if we're okay, and we're like, yeah. People behind us, people have come in after us now, starting to fill in. They're getting their food. So at 12 noon, 40 minutes, 45 minutes into this, I flagged the waitress down. And I'm like,
You're 40 minutes into
Yeah.
your waters?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm like half joking. I go, did our order not get put in or something? I'm confused as to why, we haven't gotten our
Sure.
food. And she's like, well, let me check. And I'm like, I've seen you go to the kitchen and pick up other orders.
Oh,
like,
God.
what the fuck? Where could this have gone wrong in this equation? So 30 seconds later, the cook comes out, which my buddy tells me is the owner. He comes up. He's like, "Yeah, your ticket never made it back to the kitchen. We're working on it right now. I'm gonna knock half the price off for you." And I'm just like,
Been there.
I'm like fucking steam shooting out of my ears because I'm like, okay, let's give this lady the benefit of the doubt. She's having the worst day of her life. Something bad in her life's happened. She's not all there. She's checked on us 100 times.
Right.
Like, okay, so you fucked up. You forgot to put the ticket in, or the ticket got fucking lost or set on fire. Or fucking.
Have you ever had a
knows?
waitress come over like 20 minutes into something and go, "Your order didn't make it in.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it."
Yes.
Like I forgive that.
Yes.
Because you own up to it.
Yes. And she kept looking at us and checking on us and refilling our waters. Like, in her head, that shit should have clicked. Like, why aren't
Yeah.
these dudes eating yet? Like, it's
Yeah.
been 45 minutes.
My tables have turned over twice.
Yeah. And then she didn't have the nerve to come over and apologize. She sent the fucking cook/owner. And I literally never had that happen.
Yeah.
In all the fucking meals I've eaten out. Like, it was the weirdest thing ever. Like,
I had one of those the other day. We went to a local spot we go to all the time. And my wife got there like 15 minutes before me because I was like driving back in from Baltimore. And she's like, "Well, what do you want to drink?" And I was like, "All right, I'll take this." And then so she was like, "All right, I'll
were
get
primed.
it for you." Yeah, so I was like, jackpot. Like when I pull
Yeah.
in, my beer will be waiting for me. There'll be apps on the table. And I get in there, and she's been in there for like 15 minutes. And she's like, "The waitress hasn't come by. I
Ooh,
called you as soon
that's
as
a
I
bad start. When the waitress never even comes by to
Yes.
start the drink order, you're like,
So then I got in there, and it was like another like 25 minutes or something, and like no one had come by.
yeah.
Really?
And she's losing it. And she'd already been to the hostess stand once. And she was like, "Hey, no one came by."
Yeah.
They were like, "We're on it." And this is probably like right before I got there. She went for the first time. Then we sat there for another like 25 minutes. She's like, "Fuck this." Went over again. Finally, the manager comes over, and he just like flat out threw the hostess under the table. It was
Yeah.
crazy. He was like, "So she's new, and she separated these tables. This table doesn't exist on our seating chart because it's supposed to be part of that table.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no one assigned to your table, and nobody's aware that you're here." He's like, "So I'm going to take over from here," which I thought was at least like he manned up
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And like he took care of the whole thing. But it was like my
How
wife
busy was it?
It was slammed. It was slammed. But
I
my
would
wife
still
was
think
losing her mind.
I would still think a decent waiter or waitress
Yeah,
would,
that's observant.
would go, "No, I'm grabbing that table. No one else has grabbed it. I'm taking these other three right next to it. Why wouldn't I grab that
Well,
one?"
I think it had gotten to the point though where they were like, "We're not getting a tip out of that table."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but anyone that's worth their weight in anything would go to the boss and say, "Dude, there's a table over there that no one's waiting on."
Yeah.
Like it's a lack of
It actually
being
was.
observant.
It was a waitress. Even though the hostess had been notified on 2 separate occasions, it was a waitress who brought it to his attention.
Yeah,
So she's the ace in the hole.
right.
you know?
Yeah, so then for my experience, I'm like, I say to my buddy, I'm like, what do we tip this chick? Like, because I could tip her 0, but did her mother pass away this morning or something? Like, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, thanks, you knocked $6.50 off my meal. I don't give a fuck. I wanted to eat the food and fucking get
And
the fuck out of
ultimately,
there.
whose fault is it? Did the cook lose it, or did she lose it?
I can only assume. To me, it's on her because she checked on us 100 times.
Yes.
So
right, I agree.
at some point,
Yeah,
she
she
should
was
put
checking
2
on
and 2
you,
together.
not checking on the
Yeah,
situation.
he wasn't checking on us. He's back there in the back, like.
That
and
sucks, man. We've
and-
all been there, though.
And my buddy felt so bad. He even told the owner when he came over. He's like, "Yeah, I've been talking this place up to my buddy for all these times." He's like, "This
That
is
breaks
first
his
time
heart.
here."
That breaks his heart.
And then my buddy, literally a week or 2 later, sent me a picture of the food. He went back there and was like 8 minutes after I walked in the door. Like it's a taco joint, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They knocked that shit out.
Taco joints
Like,
are the fastest place
yeah.
in the world.
Ever.
I got tacos. Actually, I love to do tacos for second dinner. I've done that twice in the last month.
Nice.
Where like I've had dinner and then had a couple drinks and then like there's a taco place and I'm like, "You want to get tacos?"
Yeah.
And it's because you know it's going to come out fast. Like you can step away from the bar, leave
Oh,
your
yeah.
tab open, go to the taco place. You're back in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, tacos that's the best.
Yeah.
Dude,
The food was amazing once I got it. So I will go
I'm
back.
sure.
But it's like, damn, got that bad taste in my mouth now.
So I've been reading a lot about how millennials don't drink as much as like the generations before them.
Really?
It's like
Because they're drinking shitty tasting beer.
Yeah, but there's also a whole like revolution right now of the mocktail. Like this is happening where like
non-alcoholic stuff.
non-alcoholic stuff though, where it's almost like a smoothie would be. Like we got all these great ingredients, but it's like over ice. It's not smoothie style.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll take basil and we'll mix it with mint and we'll put it with little tonic water. We'll mix up this amazing drink for you. This is like a revolution that's happening, and now there are not only like bars that are specializing in mocktails on top of cocktails, but like Coca-Cola's going after this. They're like releasing.
Yeah, they got all the orange vanilla Coke.
That's the first step of what you're starting to see. Because
Which I do want to try one of those.
Dude, the marketing's been brilliant,
yeah.
right? Because it's like, that does look good. Because they just put
The other marketing they did with the Diet Cokes, I wanted to punch that dude who was like, I drink a black cherry Coke, Diet Coke because I want to. Like, I don't give a shit what you drink. Like, fucking drink it.
I can.
Yeah,
that's their whole logo or their whole tagline. But so it's because this whole genre is skyrocketing, the mocktail, and I've been trying to figure out why in the world. All NA.
Okay.
And I've been trying to figure like there's mocktail bars where like groups of people are going out to like millennials and they're hanging out and they're drinking like fancy ass $8 drinks that don't have booze in them. But
which is the expensive part of a drink, by the way.
Yeah.
So exactly.
I got 36 cents in this mocktail that you're paying $9 for.
But they're selling it as like we got the best locally sourced organic
antioxidants.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God.
And so it's becoming like this whole thing. So I've always thought it was a health conscious thing. That's why the millennials aren't drinking as much.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point that like it's like they're seeing 20% decrease in alcohol sales amongst that generation. And for the longest time, it's like
because they're quitters.
Generations hold steady. Like people drink about it the same amount.
Yeah, you get to be an adult and you go, I need some fucking drink.
So I've always assumed it was a health thing. Like they have more information, so they're aware that it's not good for you. So then I read this article the other day where they're like interviewing all these millennials about why they're drinking or why they're not drinking. The number one reason that keeps coming up has nothing to do with health, nothing to do with weight, nothing to do with any of that. It's that they do not want to appear stupid on social media because now
they capture everything.
Everything gets recorded. Everything gets a picture taken of them. It has nothing to do with safety or health. It's that now if you get drunk that one time and act like an asshole, it lives forever.
Yeah.
And you're stuck with it.
That's pretty smart.
It's a consciousness of the fact that everything's recorded.
Yeah.
That's actually causing a plummet in alcohol drinking because one kid in the high school gets drunk, passes out on a toilet.
Yeah.
That picture haunts that person
forever
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, ugh, why would I want to do that? So they're not drinking. And
I like that the option is cut back on the alcohol and not the stupid posting.
Yeah, and eventually
they can't undo that.
Right.
They can't stop doing that.
Exactly.
I still got to take pictures of my food.
Yeah.
I found that to be the most interesting thing, though, that it never occurred to me that that's why people would stop drinking. It makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed
If
that.
half the shit that happened to me in college was or high school for that matter, good God, had been put on social media,
Oh yeah.
it would ruin me. Like I
Yeah,
would have been
for sure.
devastated.
For sure.
I can remember a high school party where someone fed me a bunch of drinks that I was like I didn't realize how much I was drinking. They just kept feeding me drinks. And I remember being in the hot tub, the only person in the hot tub, and like everyone laughing at me and I was just being silly and stupid, but like I was the only person in the hot tub and like it was dead of winter and no one else was in there. But like that could have been enough where I would have been shamed.
Yeah.
You know, like look at these pictures of the idiot at the party.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing anything crazy, but could you imagine like passing out on the floor? You look like an asshole.
I passed out at a party once and got drawn all over.
Yeah, no, that would live on forever.
And then I woke up a couple hours later and walked home.
Without knowing?
Without knowing. I was in the city. And I was like, well, while I'm walking home, I got to walk by the 7-Eleven.
Taquito.
I'm going to get some edibles while I'm in there.
Yeah.
Get some nachos, get a fucking hot dog
why
or
not?
something. Everyone's staring at me. Cops are in there staring at me. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody looking at? I was like, I know I'm drunk, but I'm not like stumbling around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the penis on
Then
your
I get
forehead.
home and see all the shit written all over my face. I'm like,
Oh.
how did I not get arrested?
Right.
Well, that
At least
doesn't
there was no
happen
picture.
anymore.
At least there's no picture of it.
That's right, because then every time like you're in an argument online and then someone's like, "Blunk."
Yeah.
What about Troy with the penis on his face? And you're
Yeah.
like, son of a biscuit.
God,
That's weird.
But that's the number one reason they cite, like far and away above everything else. I don't want to be shamed on social media, so I don't drink.
wow, that's
Smart.
crazy.
It
These
is
people
crazy.
sound like a lot of fun.
I just think it's
A hoot.
and now it's manifesting itself in this whole mocktail industry and
Yeah.
all these other things. So it's definitely wild.
Fucking $9 drinks that have no alcohol in them. That's
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah, pour me the shot you were going to put in there.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll let this dude draw on me, take my picture, don't care.
Exactly.
I'm a grown-ass man.
Exactly.
Let it
so
be.
weird. I guess that's a fad, though. I can't imagine that'll stick around. We'll
Cool.
see. We'll see.
I'm glad we got through some of those B-sides. And we know what? There's still a couple left up there.
Oh yeah.
We'll hit them next week.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's some things up there that I'm just like, damn, look at all that.
Do a tease. Pick one and tease it.
I'm going to just throw this one away because I
Okay.
don't even know how to get into it. And we're going to close this fucker out. The number one dude in bridge, like I guess there's like paid like bridge, like you can be a professional bridge player. You know, just like there's professional poker players, there's
Okay.
professional bridge
Yeah,
players.
Sure.
The number one guy got popped for steroids about a month ago. And they threw him out,
Dude.
and they pulled his titles.
No.
Yeah, because
Really?
he tested positive for steroids. I don't even understand how steroids help you get better at bridge.
that
You
can't-
intimidate him. You throw that card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So to all you aspiring bridge players out there,
There he is.
just
There's
say
Colby.
no. Don't do
Yeah.
steroids.
For real.
I'm glad to hear him coughing.
Yeah.
That means he's in
He's
in
here.
full throat tonight. That's good. I'll take it. Yeah, so to all you aspiring bridge players, do me a favor.
Get off the juice.
Don't do the juice.
Yeah.
It's not helping your cause, and
It's hurting
they
yourself.
Yep.
apparently they will make you pee in a cup. Who knew?
And you'll lose dozens and dozens of dollars in endorsements.
Dozens and dozens
Yeah.
of dollars.
Exactly.
That's right. You're not going to get those. What's a fucking card manufacturer? I can't even think of a good one.
Royal.
Bicycle.
Royal.
Bicycle. There it is.
Yeah.
Bicycle's the ultimate one. You lost
Yeah.
your bicycle sponsorship, nerd.
That's
Stay
right.
off the testosterone sippinate. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. We do appreciate you coming by week after week. Do give us a review wherever it is you get
We
your
need it.
wherever you get your podcast. Go ahead, give us a 5-star review. Cincinnati Swap Somebody, people. It's real easy. We do it all the time. So go ahead and sign them up for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Reach out to us on Facebook and Instagram, or Facebook on the Pallet House Podcast page, Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. And you can always send in your topics to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. Thanks so much for the time. Oh, and pick up a Wicked Weed. Ely loves them. The Napoleon Complex. Oh, nope.
Jesus.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?